Hello everyone, this is John Doherty from Middle Tennessee. I'm going to share a few thoughts on Gary Woodland's swing. Thanks to Ralph at Gotham Golf Blog for asking me to come on and go over a few things with you. First, I'd like to start here. Two very rotary golfers, and on the left is Gary Woodland and on the right is Ben Hogan, taken from fairly similar camera angles. And from these two pictures, we can start to see a lot of similarities. First off, how much those hips have rotated, but yet how much that right shoulder is down, and how much those left wrists are uncocked, and how bent that right elbow is on both of them. How their knees are pretty close to each other, and how their right foot are rolled. Just a ton of similarities. And then getting into Gary's swing, we're going to see just a beautiful transition. As his wrists start to finish their cocking at the top of the backswing, we're already going to start to see that knee. If you see as I'm moving that a little bit, you start seeing that knee move left, and that left hip start moving around. Getting a lot of separation, left hip starting to come around, but yet that right shoulder is not popping out like I see a lot on video on the range tee. His right shoulder is actually going to start working downward as that left hip's working aroundward. As that right shoulder starting to go down, also that right humerus, that right bicep starting to reattach just in front of his inseam of his shirt on the right side. And there's still a lot of stress on the shaft, and the wrists are still loaded. That right shoulder is continuing to go down. There's no attempt with the right arm there or the wrist to try to square that club face at this point. The right shoulder is still going down, and that roll of that left wrist to square that club face isn't coming until that left wrist starts to uncock. And you can start to see here at impact that left wrist, milliseconds before was massively cocked, and now it's uncocked. And that roll of that left wrist didn't happen until that left wrist started uncocking first. And amazingly, you can start to see how much those hips have rotated, yet it didn't pull that right shoulder out and around. And that right shoulder came straight down. And why you think that might take a lot of flexibility, it's really not that hard to do. Now, to swing as fast as these guys do, that's a different story. But getting that right shoulder to go down, just something you can actually pose this impact and see where Gary was at the top of the swing, how the right shoulder was above the left, and how it went almost dead down. And that left wrist, as that releases happen, is getting even a little arched like Mr. Hogan did, and helping getting that left wrist uncocked as that left wrist just begins to square that club face. Really, no attempt on the right arm there. No firing of the right arm in either of these two swings. Mr. Hogan, Gary Woodland, very similar. Just a few thoughts. I think all of us could sit here and pose this impact alignment and be better off. But again, the main key points I'd like everyone to see is the transition. What happened there first in Gary's motion, and how that didn't make the right shoulder come out. Actually, the right shoulder went down, and also how the left wrist began its uncocking before that roll, that left wrist came back to square. Just some thoughts I think that Gary does really well, and I think we're going to see a lot more of him in the future. Thanks for asking me to share a few thoughts. Y'all have a good one.